OJ.
This podcast is brought to you by Ethiopia Life Herbos, where cannabis and culture combine for one of a kind experience. Visit them at 10A West Kings House Road, just across from the Canadian Embassy. Also, follow them on Instagram at Ethiopia Life or visit their webpage at ethiopialife.com for latest info on strains and merch. This podcast is also brought to you by
Lothian's Boutique. You can follow them on Instagram at Lothian's Boutique. You can check them out at 23 West Tradeway in Portmore, and you can use my code Arian10 to get 10% off your next bundle purchase.
Also, we have to say big ups to our patrons, DB, Tamu Good, Richard Vaughn, Zach E. Shout out to all our patrons. We'll be debuting some new exclusive bonus content on there, some, behind the scenes content, some commentary content on some of the interviews that we've done over the past couple of weeks. So look out for that. That will be going for, I believe, it's second tier up to third tier patrons. You see me? So if you want to support us and get access to all that content, you can support us at patreon.com/thefixja. All right, big up the Fix merch. You can cop the black tee with the white logo. I'm wearing it right now. The blue tee with the faded logo, the Fix mask, and the Fix mug and the Fix Things merch all up on the site at teespring.com/stores the Fix JA. All right, so let's talk to our special guest about his book out right now.
Yes. For pre-order.
Yes. Drop in.
November 2nd is the official launch of the book.
There we go. Available. The book's name is Haile Selassie's Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings.
Yes. And before I even go any further, let me greet your listening audience in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty.
Of course.
Emperor Haile Selassie I and Empress Menen. And again, say what is a pleasure to be on this growing platform,
You don't know, say it's a pleasure to have you here.
Yes.
We're going to hold in very high esteem. We'll never forget that you were the first to put us on a certain platform, talk at the JMC.
Yes.
We'll never forget that.
And I think you've proven that selection was correct. But
I think
what you've done, you've only grown, and some big interviews. I saw the Shaggy interview, Sean Paul, master classes in just the music industry.
We try
the chemistry. You know what I mean? So applauding this platform, and then you guys are touching topics I don't see touch on any other platform. So it's great. But the book Haile Selassie's Ethiopia Volume 1. I wrote a book that I always wanted to read. As a young Ras coming up, you can read books about His Majesty, but they always separate Ethiopia's history from the rest of Africa, from the Caribbean, from just the whole black, context. So, I wanted to put everything into one place. I think one of the challenges that we're having with the Rastafari movement globally is that we have drifted away from the life of His Imperial Majesty, and we've now become almost a derivative style. Rasta become a style. You know what I mean?
I definitely want to talk to you about that.
Yes.
And thanks to your camera for the extra light, by the way. Jervis, no, you look good. We good?
Yeah, big up.
Oh, that shine. Your glasses.
The glasses. Oh.
Oh.
Can I take off my glasses? Are my eyes very red?
I don't know if it's too bright, Jervis. All right, cool. Yeah, I definitely want to talk to you about that, because it would seem like there's a growing sentiment by, at least, we would say like within music, but I think it's in our society that maybe Rastafari is being diluted.
And
whether
have a place in modern society.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whether by reggae artists or just by Rastas in general.
Gender roles, I think we've evolved.
Evolved into what?
Well, I was just talking to somebody today about that. I believe in evolution now, because we've become so genderless, and roles are becoming, intersect. There's no really clear delineation of the gender and the roles, and femininity,
and have
masculinity.
Have things gotten better?
That's up for debate.
Uh-huh.
That's truly up for debate.
Because I always say a while ago could be said that them the thing that lead to the
Our
Easy
man
me.
Yeah.
and our man
The
and woman
destruction
able
of
to
society.
live together in a long extended relationship without the gender roles being there.
Mm.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm asking you the question to answer it because
Okay.
you know Rastafari is very hyper masculine, and you know men
Yes.
at the front and lead and the kings and conquerors, and of course, big up the Queen Majesty Empress, of
Empress
course.
Menen,
Yes.
of course, natural. And that's
But,
the order. The
you know,
order is the Almighty, then man, then the woman, then the children. That's
does it
the
have a
order.
place now where
Yes.
roles are being intersect and there's no clear gender anymore? Really,
It has a central role, and I would argue that the lack of that gender role is what has destroyed our society.
Mm.
You know, because of this thing without form. You know, a woman's purpose is to really strengthen our king man. A king man's purpose is to follow his purpose in the Almighty. We have a lot of brethren who don't know what their purpose is. They cannot provide leadership for a queen. We have a lot of queens that are there trying to play the role of a man, and they cannot find happiness. You understand? Them have the youth, them have the money, them have all these things. The thing that makes women happy are those relationships, those bonds, that family. You understand? So we as a society, we used to tread within that order, and we had more stable families. We've gotten away from that order now, and what do we find? Most of the children being born out of wedlock. So Rastafari, in my mind, which is the life of His Imperial Majesty, who led his family, beside his Queen Empress Menen, crowned at the same time, yes. So we respect the Queen and her role beside our King Man. That was the progress that His Majesty made. So Rastafari should be highlighting that in the society. And this is why I am disappointed. And let me just say that the views expressed here are not the views of the Jamaica Music Conference. They're not
Nor necessarily that of the fix.
They're not the views of the Association of Rastafari Creatives, because we're going to keep it hot and we're going to keep it 100.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
very disappointed in the image that's being projected of the modern Rastafari man and woman, even within the music. I think we could be doing a better job.
Let's speak on it. So what images do you see that
it's not aligning?
that's not aligning with
I find some of our artists are going more toward what is popular rather than holding that space, what I'm talking about in terms of the black family, the integrity, man, woman, child, the power of the Trinity, and really being that alternative to the chaos that's happening right now in Babylon. We're supposed to be that alternative. We're not supposed to be, as a ras, you promote gallus lifestyle. You know, because now if the line is not there, even in lion culture, right? If the male lion is not there, for a new male coming, what does the male lion do to the cubs? Him kill off the cubs. You understand? So as a male lion, your whole job is to defend that pride, your family. That's your whole existence, you know. So if you just a drop seed around a place, you cannot be there on a day-to-day. This is our molestation, creeping uncle so-and-so, friend so-and-so, and them creeping, and this is why we have this trauma and these cycles and generational curses in our community. So as Rastafari, we're supposed to be the alternative. I want to hear some song about some family life. Big up to the Chronic's Majesty video, you know. That was a very nice image. I don't know if you remember that Queen Majesty. Yeah, that video to me was so beautiful. You know, big up a man like Mortimer, who video with the waterfall and the whole settings, lightning. You know, big up to man like Yaksta. Him say him check him wife if him want sex. You understand? Because when the side
I
chick,
got read
you see, child support that lead to.
True.
You understand? And them message that right now we want to hear more of. So every man is free, you know, to say what they want to say, but there should be a disclaimer on your video that this is not Rastafari liberty. Me just a do a thing because I just
that don't really work as a disclaimer.
Just a do a thing.
You understand?
Like I have to ask, you know, because when we speak to these artists,
Yes.
it's like you try to understand where them are forward from, you know, trying to exist as an artist, and you know, trying to live up to what an artist is expected to be, you know, to explore several you know, with several subject matters or genres are, you know, not to be held within a box.
Yes.
So I try to understand them on that level. But then again, as you say, we're used to Rastafari hold up certain levity. So it's like it kind of hard to separate, you know,
Yes.
what we know them to be from what, you know, they're trying to be as an artist.
Yeah, and let me just be clear. Anything that deviates from the life example of His Imperial Majesty is not Rastafari. So a man can tell you anything you want, tell you. You understand? If it deviates, if you can't put it in a that projection, that means it can be way out there. You understand? So this is the thing that we want to make clear today on the fix. Because, you know, I read the comments sometime, you know, we pass through.
Really? You really traverse through that cesspool?
Yeah, man. Because, what we have to understand is that the people are looking clarity because the people are even confused because a lot of the brethren them have tattoo now. You have ears ring, you have tight pants, you might sag all your pants and these things, and you know you think swaggy and re-te-te, but these are not the image of Rastafari. And we know that some man get the tattoo before them sight up far. We're not talk about that, but and someone will say African tradition and all of these
You know,
things.
tattoos were involved in that, you know.
Yes.
But it was more of a tribal thing.
Tribal thing.
It's more
And
about
did
community building and
do we see
community
His Majesty
signifying.
with a sleeve? Do we, you know what I mean? We don't, you know what I mean? So these are things that I think distract from the mission because remember, we have a mission, you know. We're dealing with unprecedented times on earth. We're supposed to be providing that direction for the people. Worse times are coming than what we are facing now on earth. People used to listen to reggae music. Reggae music liberate the African continent when the South Africans and them people there fight guerrilla warfare. Them a listen to reggae music from the 70s and the 80s that give them inspiration to get up and fight this war. You understand? That's why reggae have that respect all over Africa.
Some artists would say that, you know, at least there's one particular artist who we spoke to that saying, oh, them Selassie, man, swaggy. You know,
Him have
dressed
swag,
to the
no man,
nines.
him dress nice, but
You know,
how is
some-
that dress? The dress is very, you know what I mean, kept on, you know what I mean? So we're
It
not
could be
saying
said
that,
that
man,
could be the swaggy dress of that time, you know.
that
in
is
aspect,
true.
you know,
And
dress
I don't
swaggy
want to be
the time,
dress
no.
police too, but your thing have to make sense. You know what I mean? It have to make sense. You know what I mean? Because you have some people that are dressing in a manner that it don't glorify the creator in the right way. You know what I mean? And this is again the gender roles too, because we have a lot of people who are outside of their feminine energy, and then we have ones that are outside of the masculine energy. And these are the things that we need to be focusing on because Empress Menin gave us that picture of how a woman should tread within our feminine royal dignity.
It's like you have to speak to me in a certain code. Crazy. You say things like picture and feminine energy and things like that. Yo, I'm gonna keep it 100 or not?
What's that?
I'll keep it 100.
Yeah, man. do
Can I
it.
start call something? Start call something.
Jesus Christ.
So I want to ask him how him feel about these certain things because the certain things that been out there with people connected to Rastafari that people see and question say, you know. So like even the picture with Protege that was out there. I mean I roll cross him leg. Enough people, all heap of people have a problem with that.
Yes.
Is that an image that Rastafari would embrace or, you know, put forth?
No. And let me say that Protege is a brethren I respect very highly because, you know, we have to be very respectful. He's a brethren that's always giving strength, you know, even to the JMC, to
Give
a lot
strength
of
to it too.
platform, you know. So, but when we see, you know, that picture, if you're going to say is that something that Rastafari are going to support, it would be no. But he have his individual right to put it out, you know, but it's not going to be something that I, you know, I don't know what the purpose of the iTrade is, but typically, you know, everything that we do should be toward that mission, you know. In this time, that's and that's how I look at it, because if we say that we're Rastafari, it's for a cause, you know. And if we're for a cause, social media, we know we have a platform, use the platform for the cause. But then again, You know what I mean? Every man is human being. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna condemn a brethren can put out a picture like that. I might put out a picture and a man, you know, I feel like a joy me in my bathrobe and things are going good. And a man snap a picture and it gone out there and me say, wow. You know? So that's part of life. But in terms of as a movement, no.
So how is the Rastafarian ideology useful in modern day society, when you know where it is where we're tapping into energies, as they say, masculine, feminine energies, and then you don't think that's something that is so static and will remain static over the years with no cause for growth or expansion or even consideration of other things and, you know, other ideas, is a failing system or belief.
Let me just say that the parts of the movement that are progressing, because what you see, and this is I want to touch this point because I just started an association of Rastafari creatives, and one of the reasons was because we want to highlight there's a lot of positive work that is happening around the globe that has been done by Rastafari that don't get highlighted. So a lot of times we're getting the controversy, we're not seeing the projects that are going through, the works that have been done on a grassroots level in the community, you know, throughout. So we're creating a platform, ARC, RastafariCreatives.com, to try to highlight some of these things that are happening. You know, we're focusing on agriculture, food security right now, for example, in the midst of COVID and lockdown and all these things. Food sovereignty, we don't hear about these things, you know. And this is what I would encourage the artists, you know, to use their platform. Yes, we all have our personal goals and objectives, but as a movement, what are we doing to really further? Because look there, you are saying, what is the use of Rastafari?
Yeah, because I mean, and even so, because you can't, and I guess that's what I'm saying, isn't it okay where we can allow certain things into the belief system? Because at one
Such
time many
as?
people thought that women shouldn't even probably hold space or high ranking. Well, this was in high school, so I don't know
Yes.
how true it was, where, you know, if a woman even she menstruating, she have to separate herself from the family because it's unclean and she can't even cook and all them something there. And you know, it's just, and some men, maybe, I don't know how it was phrased, that women are possessions and things to just to bear children and, you know, keep the man. So, but I've seen where Rastafari, I don't know
Yes,
the correct term, right?
Rastafari.
You know, have moved away from such, I guess, sexist and really regressive principles and come into, well, you know, embrace and supporting and joining and, you know, now run with the woman when she menstruates and things like that. But that was once a held belief, right? So is it, that's what I'm talking
but
about.
this
Is it okay to just
this is-
adapt and change to the times that we're in, and but still saying or calling it Rastafari?
But the thing about it now is that you see how you phrase it in a negative connotation, you dash with the woman on her menstruation. What about the woman is
Well-
taking time, her uterus is literally regenerating, she needs time to go. But what about the virgin taking over? He's cooking, he's making sure, says she Isla, you know, she
Well,
she
again,
gets
that's
the
what I'm
time.
saying.
You
How it was
understand?
taught to me was that a thing where she was almost exiled.
It's not.
from
It's a
the
time of
house.
reflection.
I don't know.
It's a time of reflection.
That's what I was taught.
Yo,
Let me
I've
just
said
add
it,
that out there.
I've said it, you know, if me, I own a company, you know,
Yeah.
but now make woman come there on them period, you know, stand on the yard. Go take on the time off, man, because,
And
you
you
know,
love it. And I mean, that's what I
the-
said.
but-
Like how it was taught to me
Yes.
was a thing where, like, you know, women had to be separated from the home because
Yeah.
it was unclean. And I'm just like, how
But-
something that's supposed to be natural, you're going to be blamed and punished for it.
Again, it's all about the how you're
teachings.
phrasing it
Mhm.
and
You
thing,
frame it.
because how you frame it, because and not all Rastafari hold that order. There's different levels, and we have to also make that clear. So
Right.
you know, for myself, I tried the Nyabingi order,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to big up all of the ones chanting at Pitford Nyabingi Center in Granville. I spent 2 days there for His Majesty Earth Strong, and the community is strong. Nyabingi community is strong. We give thanks. But you have 12 tribe, you have Bobo, you have Orthodox, you have man that are non-aligned, which just say Rastafari, and he don't have any, you know, overarching ideology in that sense. So you're talking mainly Nyabingi, Bobo Shanti when you talk about, maybe Orthodox, because it's biblical that these things are coming from. And I think that people should be free to practice what they want. And we still haven't proven that the modern way is better than the ancient way, because the ancient way, they had intact families. All the thing where people are talking are run off their mouth, they cannot prove that what they're doing right now is any better than the ancient ways. There's a reason the Almighty established order, because look, is the woman happy that she have to be doing all this thing when she's menstruating? Is it a better way just for say you do it?
No.
You see what I'm saying? So what are we really talking about here, Naro? You understand?
Yeah.
The people get tricked.
But then I was
but,
just using that as an example, but I was just saying, like, even with how they adopt modern wear and,
Yes.
like trying to,
Again,
even like, again,
this new generation.
embracing Gallus culture, in a
This-
sense where Rastafari
Yeah.
believe in having enough women. I
That
I
is
don't know if
not
them
true.
don't believe, but the
That
one
is not
revered
true.
Rasta that we have, him have enough pitney
Yes,
with
and-
enough people.
And let's clear that up.
So,
that was
I
not
mean-
in line with the teaching of His Imperial Majesty. No
Okay.
matter how we want to look upon it. The man was a great man. We're talking about the great Robert Nesta Marley, and everything happened for a reason. And yes,
Big up in wife.
you know what I mean?
Earlier in the show, 75th.
Yes,
birthday
big
was
up
there.
Nana Rita. If we look at even the documentaries, and you see some of the pain that happened and the things within the family. The ideal is His Majesty's situation. He had 3 boys, 3 girls, Empress Menen. They're living in the palace. That is our example, You understand? So there were other children Empress Menen had earlier, but all of them were taken care of within the context of the Ethiopian family. You see what I say? So this is what we as Rastafari should be supporting, and not this, again, anytime there's a child that grows without a father in the home is a tragedy. You understand? The
Indeed
father,
so.
the youth, them need the father, they need the mother to balance them irids.
Indeed.
We have a lot of emotional men in this country of Jamaica because they've never seen that male energy to balance them and make them know, say, youth man, yes, you can cry. 'Cause remember, the mother always going cuddling and you cry, mommy always go encourage that behavior. Your father go say, stop. You understand?
Yeah,
You're
teach
gonna
you that strength.
that strength as a man that you need to sometimes, because as a man you cannot be too emotional. And
Yo, Ari, will you stop with the
watch,
face?
watch how me deal with Ari.
You know it's
You
true.
know how me deal with Ari, because the women
Oh
always
my
say they
God.
want an emotional man, until the man start crying to them every day.
I was just listening a video about this. I'm
Feel
fresh
like
and
to
fake.
to that wagwan.
You
you know why I laugh about it. or,
It's
you know,
truth, yeah, talk.
It's because no, you're right. Yeah, we don't want an overly sensitive man like that cries on whim.
Yes.
I don't mind a crier, but not a
How much time per
crier.
year him can cry? Be truthful. Him have 1 or 2 per year
No.
before you lose respect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I give
say
him-
the
I
boy
give
just
him-
bally,
I
bally.
give him 4. I give
The
him
boy
4.
just bally.
Every
That's not too
quarter.
much. That's
Every
not too much.
quarter. Every
The
quarter.
cap are 2 for real, yeah,
Every
man.
Yeah,
quarter.
man.
I'll give 4 every quarter.
1 and
It's
2
fine.
can't work.
No, by fall, Ari, I said, "Boy, cry again."
In bally, everything in cry for. I just 4 times
No,
man cry for
and
you
you're
for
right.
you.
You're right. But the thing is, I'm saying that because even with the stop crying man and whatever,
yes,
like
yes.
it creates people who are hard and
No,
the
but that's the
negative
mother is there for the
emotion that
balance.
they need
Exactly,
the
the balance.
balance.
The man I talk about
Yeah.
are the
The
balance.
balance is
You miss
there.
out that part there.
No, but no, I get the balance, but then
Balance.
it's just you don't know which teaching I gonna be.
No, when
No.
the two of them in the
Take,
same
I don't
place,
know,
The child is getting it daily from both sides.
Both sides.
You understand? So the child get that, but it's worked for thousands of years. Ari. This is not something where we are guessing. Yeah, we're not
Millions.
We're not guess. You know what I mean? So this is what I say to the people who are advocating this new type of lifestyle. You have the burden of proof to prove that it's better than the ways of old. You understand? And they have yet to reach that burden of proof.
Funny, but you know what's funny? Like every day we live is like it's a new day. Like we're not gonna know, we're not gonna be alive to even compare. Like that's it. Like every
But
day
we can see
we're
the
creating
results.
history. So
Are
I
things
don't
getting
know.
better?
But we don't know yet. We don't know. Like when the generation
And
Z will come up and
we
we'll
have
see.
times past that we can compare to know how are things back then, to know how have things progressed, how have they regressed. We have things that we can compare and use stats to measure.
That is it.
When I say, well, you know,
And I'm glad you brought up Fresh and Fit, because this is the debate that is growing in America. This is a reason that after Rita Jamaica, Kevin Samuels, all of these people who are bringing up this relationship topic, it have to drop in Jamaica, because you can have any crime policy where you want have, You
With
can
so much jacket to keep out
see me, I
here.
say all these things.
We need to have these hard conversations out here.
We have to have these conversations in Jamaica, and these are the things that the artists we would want them to sing about, because all of the hit song them we use, remember, their relationship topics. So we want to also emphasize
Man and woman topics.
Man and woman topics. Think about the massive hits that live forever. You know what I mean? These are relations because it's relatable around the world. You are sing about your 45 and your this and your that. That now pass the airport, because guess what? And this is something I wanted to bring to the Fix exclusive, because I have a colleague in America who is doing a lot of the visas for the artists that are seeking to work in America.
yeah, more
And
she
she gave me this permission to even say that the American officials, they are watching the videos, they're listening the lyrics. So when you're talking about your machine and how you rinse it and you chop off a man,
So there are people
Hey, I don't do
within
them
working
things. So why them
within.
not give me my
yes,
visa?
in the U.S. government
None of
that
you.
are
Anyway, it's about the white man.
yeah.
So,
They
there
are
are people within
scrutinizing.
those. They're
They're scrutinizing the lyrics, the
Confirmation.
videos, the
I've always
social-
thought that.
the social media. So it's getting harder. And under Trump, it got very difficult, and Biden has not eased up the pressure thus far, because even the venues that you're allowed to perform, and this is another thing, we're kind of going into the state of the industry and things, but this is another thing. They're saying venues of repute, meaning Live Nation, Ticketmaster. So if you one time you could have used a West Indian Social Club, Mr. Tony Bar, you could put these as your tour dates. You know what I mean? Now, if it's not an established venue for music and these things, they are rejecting all of these tours. So this is a very big problem, because a lot of our artists tour. In America they would call it a chitlin circuit, but it's a West Indian circuit, and it's a very lucrative circuit. The East Coast and certain parts you can go, Texas and certain places where there are diaspora communities. You could play the clubs and different. These things are now more difficult. The government is rejecting these things. You have to step up your thing. They're scrutinizing any little thing. If you reject your application, this is what's happening, and it's only going to get worse, because they do not want these violent messages coming in and them a sanction the thing. You know what I mean? So relationship topics, they're safe because it can travel. Ed Sheeran have a song about the 17 and the what the song name? You know the song?
Shape of You? Which one?
Not Shape of You, and the big one where they play at the weddings.
Thinking Out Loud.
Yeah, Thinking Out. Yeah. You see, one of the biggest songs. You see, it's just love and relationship. So these are the songs. Even when they touch dancehall, you know what I mean? Drake with Controller is a woman song, big song. Justin Bieber, Sorry.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. You
Yeah.
said it. What's the other one about them? Him and Justin Bieber, Ed Sheeran, Justin Bieber. The one with them are, they dance and them.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on, let me bring
But
it
you
up.
see, the point is that these are the topics that we want the people to address, because
in your
they're
opinion,
marketable.
sorry to cut.
Yeah,
But
go
in your
ahead.
opinion, what topics do you see mostly being put out into the space right now by Rastafarian, quote unquote, artists right now that you think probably diluting the thing?
This is what is disappointing. And let me say first clearly, there are many artists that are creating real music, but they're not getting the highlight. We always want to preface
That is true.
anything by that statement, because independent artists, they're always, and Yaksa is an example. The man have a song with Farm, and it just so happened that it hit, but you have thousands of Yakstas that are recording music that are of the real essence. So we want to preface it with that. That being said, the prominent...
Thousands of them, but probably like 50 of them good.
Yeah. Well, you know, we have to talk about that too.
Yeah.
But in terms of the top Rasses, they're being safe. Let me say that, and let me touch the part of it, because I have to talk about both sides. Because remember also, if you're a touring artist and you're trying to keep, you know, maybe a team of 15 adults employed full time, you have to make decisions that impact everyone, you know, because you can be the rebel and you go lick out against something and everybody drop a ground. You know what I mean? That's families, that's baby at home when need feeding, that's, you know what I mean, baby mother, that's the whole. So we have to also consider the artist part. So I think they're being safe, and this is why I think we need our own ecosystem as Rastafari. And this is what I, you know, really am trying to do with the Association of Rastafari Creatives, is we have to create our own ecosystem globally, our own direct-to-consumer market, so that we cannot be canceled because we might be touching a topic that, you know, the is not
The
popular.
woke mob.
Yeah, the woke mob, you know, because a lot of what
Might
we
not
may
find
advocate
it.
for is not in vogue right now. You know what I mean?
Girl, we tongue ring, blood clot, body broad. We spend money hard, dog, we a top god. A couple debit, blood clot, credit card. And money off, he makes so we go. Big fat jaguar, them not slow, wow. Girl, give me anything at the front end.
Can't fix. Me just a get to you day up on a mission for everybody rich. Them want take all away history and dump it all in a ditch. Them a call themselves big man and a one like Mitch. Want make them switch.
Boy, your touch is amazing. You have my heart just racing.
Love how your ass just shaking. You keep the fire well blazing.
My lips sweet like Hershey's. Boy, take your time at first, please.
I that woulda come second, so we late night phone calling in the morning. I still feel like I need to call. She says she falling in love. Let's stand. I told her there's no need to fall.